Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for April 4th, 2013 to order at 8:02 p.m. On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Here.
Castiglia.
Here.
Conboy.
Here.
Petagano.
Here.
Lonsino.
Here.
Coletti.
Here.
Mayor Mola.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Will everyone please rise for our prayer and flag salute? Oh God, our Father, we ask you to bless this meeting which we trust their fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our heart and plant therein a keen sense of justice and the greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Law of the State of New Jersey requires the commencement of each meeting as stated by the presiding officer, now therefore be advised, meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by publishing an annual notice in the Record of Hackensack, the Herald News, Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well as a public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2013. If you have a cell phone, we have a very large crowd here today. If you have a cell phone, please turn off the cell phones. Do not put it on vibrate mode. And this meeting will be on Cablevision, channel 77, Tuesday at noon, Thursday at 4 p.m., and Friday at 11 a.m. Thank you.
Mayor, this evening, the minutes that were on the original agenda that was sent out on Tuesday have been taken off because they were not ready till this afternoon. I felt the council needed more time to review them, so they will be on the next public meeting agenda for the council's approval. Tonight, under ordinances under first reading, we have Resolution 127-13, introduce ordinance 13-10 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled a bond ordinance to authorize the making of various public improvements in, by, and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $595,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of such issuance of such bonds, be passed and adopted on first reading. Be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, April 18th, 2013, at 8 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Moved by Mr.
Second.
Vancino, second. Mr. Petagano. Any discussion? Mr. Kazmark, would you please just give us a short one sentence?
Mayor, through you, this is a multi-purpose bond ordinance, which is actually something that is not necessarily customary for the governing body here in Elmwood Park to do, but upon my recommendation and that of the borough engineer, Peter Tenkate, we've combined various improvements ranging from pump stations to some resurfacing throughout the municipality outside of the 2013 road resurfacing program, and a variety of other engineering projects. We've coupled them into one bond ordinance, and that will fund those various projects.
And if nothing happens, the money's not spent.
Correct.
Call a roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Petagano.
Yes.
Fonsino.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 128-13, introduce ordinance 13-11 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled a bond ordinance to authorize the 2013 road resurfacing program in, by, and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $450,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriations, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of such issuance of such bonds. Be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, April 18th, 2013, at 8 p.m. or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Conboy, second. Mr. Castiglia. Any discussion? Obviously, this is a road resurfacing program that we're going to be going into, and last year with Sandy coming around when she wasn't supposed to be coming around, we trying to catch up on our streets. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Patagano?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 129-13, introduce ordinance 13-12 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance to Amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Traffic by amending Ordinance 7-13.1 entitled Parking Prohibited at All Times on Certain Streets," be passed and adopted on first reading. And be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, April 18th, 2013, at 8 p.m. or soon thereafter, as the same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy.
Second.
Mr. Catamagna, discussion. Call the roll, please.
Mayor, through you, this is the introduction of the parking changes to Fournier Crescent. On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Patagano?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes.
Motion carries. This evening, under second ordinances on second reading, we have Resolution 130-13, introduce ordinance 13-06 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance to Amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park by the addition of a new ordinance 2-64 to be entitled Administrative Code," and whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, March 21st, 2013, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance to Amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park," in the addition of a new ordinance 2-64 to be entitled Administrative Code, pass on final reading.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on this ordinance?
Mayor, can we take a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Second.
Conboy
Bonsino.
and Castiglia, open it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. Anyone in the audience who wishes to? I close the meeting. Can I have a motion to,
So moved.
thank you, Mr. Coletti, second by Mr. Bonsino. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Patagano?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 131-13, introduce ordinance 13-07 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance to Amend Chapter 21 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Shade Tree Protection," and whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, March 31st, 2013, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. Whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance to Amend Chapter 21 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Shade Tree Protection," pass on final reading.
May I have a motion to open the public?
So moved.
Conboy, second. Castiglia, I think.
Patagano.
Patagano. All in favor, opposed, so ordered. Anyone who wishes to be heard on this? If not, I'll close the public portion of the meeting. May I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Mr.
Second.
Conboy and
Castiglia.
Castiglia.
All right, throw your curveball.
Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members.
Before I call the roll, Mayor. See, we don't have this shade tree protection. I know we talk about it in the back, and what happens now? I read this, if someone needs to remove a tree,
We're just,
has to prove it.
we're just amending this ordinance. We're not taking it all off because we have this full ordinance on. It could be worth millions of dollars to take trees down all over town. We've had it like this for years. We've just never,
And we talk about it like, what happens to the people who can afford it to
call
cut
the
the
roll,
trees.
please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Patagano?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 132-13, introduce ordinance 13-08 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance to Amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park by repealing existing ordinance 20-1 and replacing it with a new ordinance 20-1 to be entitled Parks, Athletic Field, and Recreational Facility Use Policy." And whereas Said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, March 21st, 2013, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park by repealing existing ordinance 20-1 and replacing it with a new ordinance 20-1 to be entitled Parks, Athletic Field, and Recreational Facility Use Policy, pass on final reading.
Motion to open to the public.
Second.
Monsino, Conboy, any discussion? All in favor, opposed, so ordered. Anyone wish to be heard on this? If not, I'll close the public portion. May I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Conboy,
Second.
second is Monsino again. Discussion? Call the roll.
On roll call, council members Catamania,
Yes.
Castiglia,
Yes.
Tomboy,
Yes.
Petagano,
Yes.
Monsino,
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 133-13, introduce ordinance 13-09 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits to establish a cap bank. And whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, March 7, 2013, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits to establish a cap bank pass on final reading. Need to open to the public.
Motion open to the public. Monsino, Conboy, any discussion? All in favor, opposed, so ordered. Anyone in the audience who wish to be heard? If not, I'll close the public portion. Motion to adopt, please.
So moved. Second.
Coletti and Castiglia. Call the roll.
On roll call, council members Catamania.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Petagano.
Yes.
Monsino.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under the consent agenda, we have Resolution 134-13, payment of bills, Resolution 135-13, confirmation of checks, Resolution 136-13, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 137-13, redeem third-party tax lien for Block 604, Lot 8, Resolution 138-13, resolution for municipal support for Energy Strong investment in utility infrastructure program, Resolution 139-13, stipulation of settlement, Baldacci Realty Company versus the Borough of Elmwood Park, and Resolution 140-13, authorize emergency sewer work for Market Street.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Petagano.
Second.
Second, Mr. Castiglia. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Petagano.
Yes.
Monsino.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Motion carries. Under departmental reports this evening, we have the municipal court report for February 2013, Recreation Department report for March 2013, and library board minutes for February 25th, 2013.
Motion receive and file.
So moved.
Conboy, second.
Second.
Petagano, discussion. All in favor, opposed, so ordered. Committee reports. Larry, you want to start?
Okay. We had a planning board work meeting last night right here. We had one application on, and the applicant didn't show up, so we had discussed some resolution we had for that new deal store opening up where Elmwood Ford used to be, and then we went home. It was an early evening. We approved a resolution tonight for the emergency sewer work, the backup over on Market Street. The dates are on here. It was March 21st and March 26th. We had an outside contractor, emergency contractor over there with our DPW. I was there on both occasions. It was a Thursday night and a Tuesday night, if I remember right. It was a pretty bad backup. I heard the DPW has been over there twice since then, still trying to clear it up. It's working now, you know, it's working now, but there's a problem over there. We all know that. And we have engineers that are reevaluating our pump station over on Market and the Boulevard, and I guess we'll be getting a report from them. We have to do something to clear up that area. This happened to be a backup for a certain reason. I don't want to get into that, but that pump station does need rebuilding over there, and I know we're going to be working on that. The DPW has also begun picking up yard waste, and they want on a regular basis now. They wanted me to remind everybody that you can't put the leaves in the street, in the gutter anymore, or your grass clippings like in the fall. In the spring, we can't do that. We don't have the equipment on the truck to be coming along with a vacuum and sucking it up. Now, if you're gonna put leaves out from your spring cleanup, should be in some kind of a container. Trash cans so they can dump them into the truck, or those paper bags, the recycling bags they use, you can put it in that also. Any branches that you might have, 4 foot in length, tie them up into bundles. Not too heavy where the guys can't pick them up, you know, try to keep it reasonable. And that's about it, Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Pettigano?
Thank you, Mayor. This evening, the Bergen County Health Officers Society and the Bergen County Department of Health Services gave an award to Joanne Birkenbush and Jack Coyne for 20 years of service to the Elmwood Park Health Department. They're receiving their awards right now, and I just want to wish them the best and to congratulate them and to congratulate the whole board because they do a very, very good job. Also, there are free child immunization clinics on the first Thursday of every month from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Please contact the health office at 551-996-2038. Also, blood testing is still going on Tuesdays, all Tuesdays, 7 to 10 a.m. at the Health Department. Registration is required, and that's 201-796-1457. And that is it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Coletti?
Yes, just like to expand a little on what Mr. Pettigano was saying about the 2 recipients for the health awards. We had just left the proceedings, and unfortunately, we couldn't stay to see them get the awards. But these are people that have been there for decades, and they are unsung heroes in their effort, the time they put in, and it's good to see that they're getting a little pat on the back this evening. Regarding the JIF, our Joint Insurance Fund, they held their annual kickoff meeting with the safety awards, and Elmwood Park was honored with a bronze award. We scored 80 plus, which is very good, considering 100 being the best. We've got a little room there to improve, but still well above the average. And along with the plaque that we received, there came a check of $750, and that was presented to our mayor.
I tried to keep the check, but it wasn't really a check, it was a voucher, so I handed the voucher, and
We all know better than that, Mayor. The school district news. Well, the school administrator is stepping down. I'm sure a lot of us out there are aware of that. And it seems like there's some changes going on there. And hopefully we've seen the worst of the situation, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. The school administration, along with our police, fire, and homeland security representatives, have been meeting and discussing safety procedures for our school. This is so important. We don't want to forget what happened in Sandy Hook, and as time carries on, it's human nature. If there isn't something pressing and reminding us constantly, we do forget. And this is a subject that we shouldn't forget. And there's, as you could see, there's enormous cooperation going on between all these entities. Mayor.
thank you. Mr. Caravagna?
Only have there will be a meeting with the homeowner, April 24th, all-purpose room. And there will be a speaker from the New Jersey Lottery. So maybe you guys should come, listen to this guy. He will give us some hints how to win the lottery, maybe. Anyhow, you're welcome to come.
Thank you.
Mayor. Sorry.
Mr. Conboy?
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to just, again, congratulate Joanne and Jack for all their years of service. They do a great job down there, as everyone has said here. Just a little bit on recreation. Hope everybody who came out for the egg hunt enjoyed it. It was a nice morning. The weather held out. It went quick. The kids scattered up all the eggs real fast. but they did enjoy and have a lot of fun with it. A couple of things that are upcoming at the recreation. Don't forget, folks, this year, summer camp registration has already begun. Don't forget, you can still register online. So please get your registration in. Make sure you're all locked in and ready to go for our summer camp this year. Some new things they're trying at the rec for our young adults. They're starting a co-ed 18. You have to be 18 and over. Please call the rec if you're interested. But they're going to have co-ed volleyball nights at the recreation for our young adults. So please check that out. It'd be a lot of fun. And all next week, from what I see from the weather, we're going to be hitting into the 60s consistently. So that means that the hot weather is not too far away. Last year, we had a record number of people attend our spray park. Don't forget, spray park will be up and ready to go soon. So start thinking about that, even though it's still a little chilly. A couple other things that are upcoming on the calendar here in town, down by Borough Field. Next Saturday, April 13th, at approximately about 9 o'clock in the morning or so, our girls softball league will again have another fantastic season underway. They have their opening day in the morning, followed by later in the morning at about 10:30 in the morning. Elmwood Park Little League will celebrate their 10-year anniversary serving our community. They're going to have Yankee great Roy White there from left field. Hopefully he'll bring his 2 World Series rings. He played with some of the greats at the end there, like Mantle and Maris and Whitey Ford and so forth. He'll be there to throw out the ball. There'll be a very big festivity going on. There'll be jumpy rides. A whole big long day is planned to celebrate their 10-year anniversary. A lot of our business community members are going out there as well that are sponsors, so it should be a nice day out down by the Borough Field. The following weekend, the 20th, our Elmwood Park Junior Baseball League will kick off there. Another great season for them as well. Their opening day is the following Saturday. So a lot going on. Check it out, what's happening at our borough. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Boncino?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I'd also like to start out by congratulating Joanne and Jack for the recognition they received this evening and for their service to our community as members of the Health Department. And I have an update. Again, I mentioned at the last meeting, we'll be going out for bid, the New Jersey SEM, for electric supply services on April 9th. That's Tuesday. And a strike price was set 8 cents per kilowatt hour. This is the price that bidders must be below. Last year in the auction, the strike price, the bids came in 12 to 31% below the strike price and 20 to 58% below for street lighting, and we expect similar results this year. At our public meeting on May 2nd, we'll make our promotions in the police department. We'll be promoting 2 lieutenants to captain and a sergeant to lieutenant. So come out and support them as they take on increased role and responsibilities in our department. The ambulance corps is having their car show Sunday, June 2nd, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It'll be held at River Drive Center, 669 River Drive. The rain date is the following Sunday, June 9th. And just finally, I'd like to just reach out to our high school seniors who are in the home stretch of their high school career. I know the light is at the end of the tunnel. I had my last one home as a senior. Unfortunately, he has a severe case of senioritis. It started like the day after New Year's, so, and it's not letting up. But this month's a tough month for seniors. You're weeding through college decisions, financial aid packages, trying to figure out where you're going to spend the next 4 years. Maybe you're deciding to enter the military or simply enter the workforce. Remember, whatever you decide, you are our future. Work hard, use your skills and talents to the benefit of our community, our nation, and the world. Best of luck to you all.
Thank you. Mr. Gilman? My report, just for anyone here and watching and also the council, we have a limited amount of free smoke alarms for our senior citizens. So if any senior citizen wants a smoke alarm for their house or 2, they can either call my office, stop down to my office, or stop down to the fire prevention office, Mr. Pompey Diarco, if he's not there, his secretary's there, and they will give you free of charge these smoke alarms if you're a senior. I don't see any seniors up here.
Do you have to admit to it when you go to get it?
We can't get them, I'm sorry.
Do you have to admit your age when you go to get it?
Yeah,
And show proof?
I don't know. But Please, they're only a limited amount, so come down and get it. Some in my office, some in the fire prevention, and you can have them, okay? Thank you. May I have a motion open to the public, please?
So-
Moved by Mr.
Second.
Bonsino,
Second.
second by Mr. Castiglia. Anyone who wishes to be heard? Yes, sir. Name and address.
Steve Conti, 274 Market Street.
You're going to wear the Yankee jacket until they win the game, is that correct? Okay.
You brought up about the schools. Do we have cameras in the schools?
I don't think so.
Cameras.
In school? There's a camera in school.
Are there cameras?
Cameras in there, Frank?
Where?
This camera, there's a
Surveillance?
monitor.
Surveillance
Check in the
cameras.
hallway, yeah, there
Oh,
is.
in the hall, okay.
I hope so.
I've seen
No, it's gonna be
monitors,
day.
live
Are
monitors
are
on.
they recorded to a hard drive? Or is it just,
You would have to ask the Board of Education that.
I don't think you hear the sound, you may see the image.
the pump station there on the Boulevard and Market? When was the last time, was that ever upgraded or rebuilt?
Oh, God. I don't know the date on that, or when it was rebuilt. They've been adding machinery to it, taking machinery away for
But
a
is the
while,
problem-
grinders.
Is it the infrastructure, the piping and the road, or is it the pump station itself that we're having a problem?
I believe it's the pump
Through-
station
Pumps aren't
itself.
big
right?
Through you, Mayor, it's a combination of both. And we also have a business that we believe may have been culpable for this most
I
recent
didn't
backup.
want to say that, but.
Yeah, and we are investigating that thoroughly, let's put
That's
it
what's
that way.
going on right now.
I didn't want to bring it up when we're doing the second readings, because open, close, quick. What does the cap bank have to do with the ordinance?
Through you, Mayor, the cap bank allows us, if we don't go to cap in a particular year, the delta between where we set our budget and the cap that would be allowed, we can bank that for an ensuing year.
Oh, okay,
That helps us the following year.
okay. As the administrative code ordinance has to do with employees, rules and regulations, such and such?
It's a readoption of the policies and procedures manual, which we normally do every other year, but there were some attendance policies that I recommended to the council, so that's why we're adopting it by ordinance this time.
I want to compliment your building department. I applied for a permit, and in 2 days I had it. And I had a minor issue which was resolved almost immediately. So I have to say, your building department, Jim DiPadova and Kerry and everybody down there was a big help. My last question, and I'll be done, believe it or not.
Wow.
With the police promotions, we're promoting three officers. Is that 3 less patrolmen on the road?
Say that again?
Is that 3 less patrolmen on the road with the promotions?
No, they're already doing the job. 2 lieutenants are doing the job as captain,
No, I understand that.
so they just,
We're taking them off patrol.
no, they're not on patrol.
Their offices.
Are we, after these promotions go through, are we looking to hire
Well, you already have hired people,
more patrolmen?
yes.
How many we hired?
I think 3, right?
So we're up to what?
Three since the retirements.
About 35.
Yeah, I know that, but we're still down. I'm not saying,
And we're not going up to 45.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
We're going up to where the police chief and the council feel that it's
We need at
adequate.
least 3 more, no disrespect.
Okay. You keep within the cap when we hire 3 more.
Okay.
Well, we kind of put 3 more on the street.
That's right.
Steve, with the 3 new
3 dispatchers.
dispatchers. Now we have 4 dispatchers. It's a full complementary. Well, I'll let Councilman Montesino, he can answer for the
We
police.
have, after these 3 promotions, we have a sergeant's exam that's coming up, and we have to fill a sergeant's position. And then we'll have to assess with the chief the needs on the patrol level. But as Councilman Conboy said, we brought in the dispatchers to free up officers. The 2 that we hired at the end of last year essentially got us back to the force that we had prior to the force on the road prior to the retirements.
And we're never going to replace that deputy chief's position, correct?
It's not in the ordinance anymore.
It's not on the table. It's not on the table of organization anymore.
Right, correct. Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard? If not, I'll close the public portion of the meeting, and we can just sit around for a while, except that Mr. Castiglia
I gotta
has
get up early. Do you notice how
Coffee
fast I
with
talk?
donuts.
And you oblige.
Only planning board can get that.
Okay. Now here, no, I closed the meeting already. Cablevision, all right, Channel 77, Tuesday, 12 noon, Thursday, 4 p.m., and Friday, 11 a.m., or you can watch it on our website. Thank you. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Conboy, second by Mr. Castiglia. If seniors, you want a couple smoke alarms, please come to my office, go to the fire prevention office, and pick them up. Thank you.
Okay.